What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Sit Down Saturday, and today we are going to be comparing the Magic Square and the New Age Slag, Triceratops and Gorgo or something like that. They were both on loan to me from Robert D, and I reviewed both on Patreon over the past 2 weeks. While we're on the subject of Patreon, I still find from time to time that people are confused as to Sit Down Saturday, so I want to take an opportunity to explain it real quick. The only Sit Down Saturdays that I put on my public channel are the verses, and even then, it's only if I have something else that doesn't need to take precedence over it. I have been doing Sit Down Saturday for over a year on Patreon at the $5 level, where you also get dummies uncut. Just last week, I did an hour-long retrospective look at Fans Toys Aerial Bots. That's an hour-long Sit Down Saturday. So Sit Down Saturday is definitely still going. It's just going on over there. And for less than a large vanilla latte, you can enjoy it with us, as well as plenty of other stuff. But we are going to be tackling this versus here on the public channel. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, and you know where we start. So let's start with accessories. They both come with a gun. The Magic Square comes with the sword. The New Age comes with the light up effect, or the lightning effect rather, and the Magic Square and New Age both come with an extra set of hands. So they both come with 3 accessories, so I'm going to tie them out. However, I do prefer the Magic Square accessories over it, but it's not about my preference, it's just about what you get for your purchase. And they both tie on gimmicks because neither of them really have one. Moving on to build and materials, and I don't think it will come to anyone as any surprise when I say the New Age is going to take both categories. The materials just feel better, the build feels better, the Magic Square is more finicky, the materials don't feel as good. It's that nylon plastic. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but we've seen Magic Square in recent times use ABS, and I think they're better off for it. So until they start using it more traditionally, they're just never going to take this category. As far as hardware goes, they both tie. Neither of them have anything extremely impressive. Mostly just pinned stuff and screwed stuff. Moving on to Sculpt and Paint. Now, in terms of paint, New Age is like the Fans Toys of Legends. Like, they're going to take the paint category almost every time. This one's no exception. They're going to take the paint category by a landslide. But from just a blanket visual aesthetic looking at them side by side, I think the Magic Square looks better. The proportions look better, the arms not being so long, the legs being a bit cleaner, specifically the lower leg. Like, if this Magic Square was painted like this New Age, the New Age would really be in trouble. As far as the head sculpt goes, I'm going to tie them out. I don't think either one of them is leaps and bounds above the other. I like the expression better on the Magic Square. I kind of like the general shape better on the New Age, but neither are a big enough edge to beat the other. From the side, it's basically just 2 red boxes. Just one is more covered by the Triceratops head, so nothing really to talk about here between the two either. Moving on to the chest and torso area, I'm giving it to Magic Square. Because Magic Square collapses for transformation, it allows, obviously, the inverse, the expansion of the chest, which gives it a more intimidating, broader look, whereas the New Age looks a little spelty for slag. They both have the gray part, they both have the color breakup in the abdomen, but the Magic Square looks broader, so I'm giving it to them. From the side, I mean, the backpack doesn't clean up as much in the Magic Square, so I guess I can give the edge to New Age there, which will ultimately just tie them out for the torso. But I mean, it's so unfair in a way, you know, because it's just like, if you look at it from a very specific angle, it's less flattering, but everything else is better. But I'm trying to be as fair as possible, so I'll tie them out. Moving on to the arms, I have to give it to Magic Square because it's cleaner. What we see in the New Age is not sculpted detail. It's panel lines for transformation engineering. They're trying to keep it as clean as possible, but the engineering got in the way of it. So it's not like they put extra detail in there. So I got to give it to Magic Square. And from the side, same sort of deal. Nothing really to write home about. I would probably tie them out if it was just this side view, but the front view is just better on the Magic Square. As far as the pelvis goes, I don't think there's anything necessarily to give one the edge over the other. I like that the pins are not obvious to the Magic Square. I probably should give them the point there, and I think I will. I think that's enough of a nitpick in the same way that the backpack is, to try to make that as fair as possible. Otherwise, they're pretty much identical. From the side view, I like the hip skirt better on the Magic Square than the open kind of hinge for the New Age, so I would give them the point from the side view as well. The legs kind of have the same thing going on. More so on the side view, but on the front view. But on the front view, I don't think there's one that's necessarily leaps and bounds above the other. I think they're pretty much status quo. Obviously, the lower legs are bigger on the New Age, but they both have the green squares, they both have the yellow toes, they both have minimal line work from the frontal view, so I think they're about tied. From the side, once again, I think the Magic Square wins lines because it's cleaner. What you see in the side of the New Age is not sculpted detail, it's engineering panel lines. Add to that the kind of yellow tail that bumps out of the top of the legs. I just think the Magic Square is more successful. And from the back view, I think the Magic Square does it better. It's mainly because of the lower legs. Look at the mess on the New Age and look how tidy the Magic Square is. I think it just does a better job at it. So in the end, New Age doesn't take a single category. They tie at the torso because I was being really lenient. They tie at the head sculpt because they're relatively the same. Magic Square takes the pelvis, Magic Square takes the arms, Magic Square takes the legs, Magic Square takes the front and back view, and New Age gets left in the cold. And that's because they're both trying to do the same thing here. I think if New Age would have gone for a slightly more stylized look, they could have incorporated those line work panel lines into more sculpt work, and they would have paid off in their benefit, but because they didn't, it falls a bit short. All right, let's go through articulation. So the Magic Square is on a ball peg. You get up a fair bit. You get down, it has a little flap, so you can get fully down. It's a cheat, but it's there. You get the swivel, and you get a slightly confused slag. For the New Age, also on a ball peg, you get up, no problem. You don't get the down. You do get the swivel, and you get more of the confused look, so we'll tie them out there. Shoulder is a universal. You can get out to 90 degrees. You got to work around these crests a bit, but you can do it. And then you get 360 until you bump up against the backpack. And then you have a significant ab crunch. You have a significant butterfly joint. New Age shoulders are universal as well. You get out to 90 degrees, 360 around, and you get a butterfly joint, but it is a little bit more limited. But the range up is a little bit more free, so I'm going to tie them out. Bicep swivel, bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow, double jointed elbow. Wrist swivel, wrist swivel. Waist swivel with a ab crunch, waist swivel with an ab crunch. Universal joints for hips, you got to get the hip skirt out of the way. You can get out to 90, and you can get forward way up and limited back. No hip skirt, you can get out to 90. You can get forward to 90, and you can get further back, so I'm going to tie them out. Thigh swivel, thigh swivel. Double jointed knee for the full run, double jointed knee for the full run. No real ankle tilt up or down, but you do get a rocker. No real ankle tilt up or down, but you do get a rocker. So this is neck and neck. They tie at the head, neck articulation. They tie at the shoulder, bicep, wrist, hands because they're the same, meaning they don't have any. Waist, abdominal articulation, hip articulation, knee articulation, ankle articulation. They just do pretty much the exact same thing, honestly. Some of their ranges are slightly deeper, slightly fuller, but I don't think it's fair to edge one out over the other here. They're just so bloody similar. Transformation-wise, I'm giving it to the New Age. The Magic Square, just fumbling with the pieces and the materials as they are, just makes the process more challenging to get through. The New Age is a lot smoother. In fact, this goes more to a build issue, but it still remains true that there's the pin that holds the Triceratops head assembly like onto the bulk of the body. That almost came out during my Magic Square review. But it's just because of the materials and the way it's built that the transformation process is just not as enjoyable as the New Age. So I've got to give the point to New Age, even though I do think there are some things impressive about the Magic Square, stuffing the whole tail into the cavity, the chest cavity and all that. I love that. It's just not a good experience because of other factors. Alt mode, I'm tying them out. Why? Because I don't like how deep the head of the Triceratops sits into the body of the Triceratops on the Magic Square, but I hate how long the snout is on the New Age. I don't think either one of these got it 100% right. I also don't think either one of them got it so wrong that you can't enjoy the alt mode. The articulation's pretty similar. The New Age has slightly more head articulation, of course, so there's that. But there's just stuff that I don't like about these, about equally, that honestly don't get in the way of having a decent Dinobot on your shelf, that I don't think one deserves to edge out the other, so to speak. Scale-wise, they both get it wrong according to the Sunbow chart. There are other fan charts out there where they're both much more in line with, but according to the Sunbow chart, the top of Optimus's head should come up to about the middle of Slag's head. I don't think anybody uses that anymore, but that's how it is on the chart. The proper Sunbow chart, not like these other like homemade Johnnies. But because the Magic Square is technically shorter, I'm gonna give them the point for being closer to the mark. In terms of accuracy, I'm actually gonna tie them out. So New Age gets the upper body right with the sloping down of the shoulders that I actually think makes the figure look worse, but they get that right. But the Magic Square gets the cleanliness of the lower legs, which the kind of New Age sort of chews up like a piece of bubble gum. New Age also gets the longer arms right, but New Age Triceratops head is too tall. So I think the kind of the upper body goes to New Age and the lower body goes to Magic Square. I want to go on record once again and say I think the Magic Square looks better because it doesn't try to get that toon accurate look. Moving on to price, it's a close one, but I got to give the point to Magic Square. Coming in at $100 versus $105, you know, hey, to a lot of people every dollar counts, and that's a $5 difference. So it's just an objective point to Magic Square. Can't be mad at that. All right, which one do you think looks better?
I liked when these were easier decisions. I think maybe this one.
All right.
That one.
This one feels better.
That one feels better.
Okay.
Smooth.
All right, Jana, which one do you think looks better?
I'm gonna guess the one on the right.
All right. Well, it's not a guess, it's your opinion.
Yeah, neither of them look all that great, in my opinion. I feel like I've been saying that a lot recently. Low key.
What's that? That neither of them look great?
The one that I just held feels better.
Yeah, this one feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
This one is a little.
Yep, I get it.
If you know, you know.
All right, Selena, which one do you think
That
looks...
one.
This one over here?
Yeah.
All right, and then which one do you think feels better?
That one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, both really tiny. Last time, both were really big.
It's true. Which one do you think looks better?
I think that one looks better.
Okay. And
I feel like this one feels better, too.
that one feels better too? Okay. Thank you. So it was a pretty close match. They tied at accessories and gimmicks because neither of them had it. They tied at hardware because neither of them had it. They tied at alt mode because neither of them got it quite right, but neither of them got it wrong enough to kind of make it disqualified. And they tied at accuracy because the New Age kind of gets the upper body right and the Magic Square gets the lower body right. Magic Square took the sculpt, just because I think it looks better. I really do. It took scale because it's slightly smaller than the New Age. That's almost a sympathy point, to be honest. And it took price because it's $5 cheaper. New Age took build and materials, and they will every time if Magic Square doesn't make a change there. New Age took paint, and they will every time unless Magic Square makes a change there. They took transformation, which is mainly due to the build and materials adding to a more enjoyable experience, and they took presence because 3 out of 4 of my family members liked it better, which I disagree with. But that ultimately leads us to a final score of 5-3 New Age for the win. Congratulations. I don't know if I agree with these results overall. In terms of how I feel it's much closer, but I do get how it happened. And I think that's a pretty fair score, and I think that Magic Square would serve New Age a real big scoop of humble pie if they could just get those materials together. But we take a look at those results and then we break them down into like kind of further categories, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So for best display, we take into account build, sculpt, paint, and presence, of which New Age takes 3 and Magic Square takes the sculpt, making New Age the overall best display option. Then we take into account best transformer. In order to do that, we consider build, materials, and transformation, of which New Age wins all 3, making New Age the best transformer as well. Lastly, we take into account the most playable. For that, we consider build, materials, articulation, transformation, and accessories. New Age takes the build and materials, the transformation, they tie at articulation, and they tie at accessories, making New Age also the most playable. So, you know, I think that that's what it is. Like, and I know that Magic Square and New Age is like Coke and Pepsi or PlayStation, Xbox, Android, and iPhone. It always causes some dispute. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care. I don't collect either. I don't care if either side wins. I personally like the aesthetic look better of the Magic Square. If I was buying these, I'd probably get the Magic Square, even though I hate an awful lot about it, most of which has to do with the build and materials. So anyway, I hope that helps. Come on over to Patreon and hang out with us. We're having real discussions over there. Otherwise, what would you be left with over here? Other options? Hope to see you soon. With that being said, something light will be on Patreon for tomorrow. Dummies will be this week on the public channel on Friday if I don't have another MP review before then. I'm trying to get a hold of that X-Transbots Ratchet. We'll see how that goes. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.